explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming? Or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Hello and happy Sunday. We are continuing with the projects that we did yesterday. This one, redone on a different vase, worked out great. So the next stage for this is spray starch. And I will have the option of ironing afterward to make a smoother finish, or just leaving it more textural. Either way, it'll be a little stiffer. So I'm thinking about it, because we haven't done any experiments with it yet. Now, the bottom needs to be flat, or it won't be a good candle colder. Now these raw edges, we're going to fix those, or heal them, as they say. I'm going to have to open it up some more. We're about even there. I'd like it to be fairly centered. I need to get okay. So let's batten down the hatches here. Come here, problem child. Here we go. I believe we are achieving the wispiness that I'm looking for. Even the wispy has to be secure, so repeated handling doesn't undo your work. Okay. That came out so pretty. Definitely evocative of a underwater scene. But we're going to need a mold to make the bottom flat. So what do I want to use? What about you? Well, it's not tall enough. That's the problem. Let me think about my jar collection. Keep my DNA to myself. Okay, but we've got the warm water and the bar of soap, so I'm just going to let that sit in the water for a minute. And we will set up to fix this over something. Just stand there. And we're going to need plastic. And yes, how can I forget? We must have the towels. And by the time I am done with these towels, I won't even need to add detergent to the wash. Just throw them in, and it's going to have a whole ton of dish soap in it. We will be healing this by hand, but I need to soak this so I can stretch it over a something. I'm going to go look for that something right now. This could be perfect. Look at that. We're going to try this because it's not completely round. And I really liked that spaghetti sauce. I'm going to get some more, if I can find it. So let's see. Let's see. Greetings of the morning. I think it is still, it's still morning, isn't it? Well, yes it is. 11:38 is technically morning. Okay. Let's have a sip of tea. I hope that everybody is doing great today. You must be, because you're not here. Okay. Let's get some water going. Now, this did have the soap rinsed out of it, but it did not have the vinegar wash, which is okay at the moment. Now, the more you work the fibers, the more felted it becomes, more cloth-like. So we do want it more felting here. I have been looking into fabric stiffeners, which I've never used, but I've grown up seeing them. They've been around a long time, so they must work. The one time I was interested in draping anything, I was using plaster of Paris because it's so cool. As long as you have the right armature to lay it over, it's like just frozen. Okay, you need some soap. Okay. I don't want to work too much over here. We're lifting some of the viscose. Don't want to do that. So I want this to be an uneven edge. It's a nightlight. You know, the uneven edges disperse more light, especially coming from underneath. And it's even okay if we open up some holes around there, but first we've got to establish the main shape and heal these edges so it's not like you just cut it. Hello. All right. Should probably squeeze some of this excess stuff out before I start stretching it over the glass. So, well, we do know how to do that. Here, catch a little of that. Why don't you? So today, I think, is going to end up being wash the towels day. It's like whipped cream. Yeah, you know what to do over there. It is a messy art, but not that bad when you consider it all stays right there on your towels. And it's a very mindful kind of a practice to felt. Reminiscent of working in the kitchen. Rolling dough. In every culture, there's rolling dough. That did come out pretty. Now let's see if we can make it look a little like an aquarium. Now don't you knit yourself together here. Thank you. Ooh. A little more pinchy there. Okay, now. I'm going to have to get the wheel. The wheel and a dryer towel. Okay, you guys. You dry. Okay, let's continue the molding process. Underwater undulations. Pretty cool. Okay. So, a little more. Now this will absolutely need to be stiffened. I freaking love it. I guess it's moving too fast. Don't get dizzy. Oh, I'm not level. That's annoying. Fix your horizon line, girl. I wonder I felt so open. I'm joking. My balance has been improving. Well, I've got to make another one. While this one dries, and this one is waiting for starch. Now, the starch is a big deal because you don't want to be inhaling it. So I have to do that like in the bathtub, just to be sure I don't leave residue all over the place. I hate making a mess while doing my art. And although, well, you know, how sprays, I remember the sprays when I used to actually have to starch my husband's shirts. And that's a pretty wide area. It's not like a little bit. So I can see why people also get the liquid and dilute it. So there is a stiffener I'm going to buy that is something you can dilute, and it's supposed to be like low odor and all water stuff. So it's like, that sounds like the right thing for me. Low fumage, better for the lungs. So those colors all worked out perfectly. Ah, you know, even though it feels like when you're doing it, sometimes you get that little moment of going, did I overdo it here or there? And it's cool. We've got like just one instance of the dark blue, almost black, that moves into green bamboo. And another one, there's a couple others there, but one just looks like a tree, and it's just the right accent. All right. And we will get better at this as we go on. Right? Right. I don't like that little thing right there. I want a ragged edge, but not quite that. Okay, well, it looks like I'm going to need another mold. But first you have to make the basic pocket to do the molding on with. So, you know what? This one worked out to be a pretty good size. I think that will make a good candle. Nightlight. So we want the bottom to dry. Definitely feel the soap in it. I'm going to have to look up. See, I've seen people do sculptural stuff, but I didn't see them wash the soap out between steps. I'm not really sure, and I really can't afford to pay for private lessons or joining a. I mean, you can buy tutorial people time. They do videos to teach you, and you can buy kits, and the video is accessible through the kit to make you that thing. I'll have to check and see if they've got one that is about stiffening the felt after it's done. Okay, so one of the things I haven't finished, this is like a long work, a literal long work. I am needle felting this to make it a dense, thin rope. In the end, I might resent doing this and decide to make a different kind of a pocketbook holder. I kind of like it fluffy, actually. It's like a caterpillar. I'm just not sure if it will start to fall apart, you know, from lacking density. You know, this might be a pivotal point right here. And here it's like, yeah, the wrap needs to be sodden down. So we're going to do that before, we'll just, because I get tired from doing that. So we're not going to do a lot of it, just enough to wear myself out. This requires the pen, which is handled differently than a single needle. Ooh. This is the stuff that we used for that. Sari silk, bamboo. That's bamboo. Where's the sari silk? Nope, good. I don't have any of that floating around. It's treasure. We don't want to waste it. Okay. So I've got this fuzzy caterpillar. We don't need a stabbed finger, but you know what? We can use this to hold that down. Now this has absorbed other lighter color wools. It's going on a brown and black bag I made. That I think the color is called light coffee. It is kind of like I like my coffee. Ouch. Crap. Well, I certainly felt that, but nope, I went right through my nail. Holy mackerel. Hold on a second. Since I will be smart and put some peroxide on it. Fortunately for me, the last thing on my hands was soap. But we would be careful, eh? Okay. Okay, that's where I wanted to get to. Up here. Okay, I think we've had about enough for the moment. We can return to the more creative processes. Yeah, it'll be easy to see where I left off. Safety helmet back on. Okie dokie. You go back over into the gotta finish you pile. And we're going to put the blues away because I've got some other stuff here. The blues and the greens. They're so pretty. They go together just perfectly. Blue and green. The blues first. Our aquamarine bamboo from Living Felt. The greens, with more coming. And this variety of alternative fibers, silk and bamboo, also from Living Felt, in a color coordinated set. Oh, Prague. Everything has to be done in the correct order. We need to move this so I can lay down the towel. Looks like we're expecting rain, which I wasn't expecting. You know, it's funny. After I had no more dogs in my family and no more cats, I thought, well, I will not have to buy another towel for the rest of my life. And lo and behold, I'm going, look at that. I could use some extra towels for this watery craft. Okay, we don't need you yet. But we need you. I need you. Right there. Okay. Let's gather together the stuff. I want some of those little red nips. Come on. Here are the red nips. Did I put them in with the pinks? Oh, they're with the yellows. I'll have to further separate some colors, especially with more wool coming in. This was one of those mixed selection packs. Different stuff. And I guess I might as well leave it out, because I think I'll use all three of these in the next creation, but not this. We're going to separate that. That goes with the yellows, or yellow-green. And this is actually a shade of yellow I'm not very fond of. I guess in the right context, I can see it like in a painting. This would be a sunny highlight on a field of green, because it's kind of like a sour yellow. Okay, and over here we have a bunch of yellows. Put it with the pumpkins. Ew, no, I don't want that mixing. I'm going to get another bag, and that is a nep. Yeah, those clouds are coming in. I love it. Oh, and our cylindrical vibrating filter is charged. Okay, a cylindrical filter, automatic filter. It's fully charged now. Okay, I'm just gonna have to separate all the really weird neon colors that look anything but natural. They have their place as accents, but I don't know, something about them usually turns me off. Now, from my understanding, neps are a side effect, a byproduct of spinning or carding wool, I think. I have not actually looked it up. I heard it in passing, and my brain just made the visual note, like, okay, those are little balls of yarn, wool rather, and I can see they're kind of cool. They add them into like silk felting especially, it seems, for texture and just, visual interest, which is what we're going to be using them for, visual interest. But it seems that it has little hay mixed in with that, and I don't want to be sitting here forever pulling that stuff out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make another fiery, I'm just going to call it the Bird of Paradise color pattern without the green. Yeah, without the green. We're going to use purple instead and keep it super intense. Okay, so let's see, get some of this out. The gorgeous gold sari silk. I think it's so clever what they do. It's wonderful not to waste a product that actually takes so much effort, and silk. Like, yeah, conservation of your resources is everything. Nips. And I think that's more than enough. It's a generous amount of nips. Just for my purpose, we don't need that many. Okay. Well, they're just cute as a button. Okay, let's get rid of that again. Our colors, all purple, but the purple is going to be really just mostly on the bottom, and then we're going to fire it up with some of this beautiful magenta and this fiery red. Apparently all of this came from samples, but I have chili, which I could also use, and I have an abundant amount of this. Now I just ordered something that I hope is going to replace that, but just in case. Now at the very top, we're going to want a little bit of yellow flame like you would see in the plant. So we're going to have these to top it out. Well, I guess we're going to have to do 2 of them. All right, let's start with where we start, the pipal. And another message. Spam. Excuse me 1 second, because this is exactly the kind of thing you have to what's the other option? Block and report as spam. Scam, scam, scam. They try so hard to get seniors and scam them. But I hate it when I'm around because I catch them. There's a grass. It's my tweezers. Now, I thought I had taken care of all that stuff, but now that those AIs are collecting and selling our information, and they got our social security numbers, they got our phone numbers, suddenly where I've never listed my phone, nobody should know that phone number, but how did that happen? Oh, yeah, Google bought Samsung's chat. stray grass. Now that's definitely merino. What a difference. Hello, Doc. Aloha. Sun up for you, eh? The aqua vessel came out so cool that I made another one, and it's drying right now. After I get this set up, I'll show you. They definitely have an underwater feel to them, and that's exactly what I was looking for, so I'm happy here. How's your morning going? I got the notice that my cast iron pan is on the way. It's a good size, almost a foot across, so I can do tortillas and all that. I have a small pan just for tortillas, or tortilla-like things, you know. Ah. Welcome to the world. All right. Retraining. I'm not sure how much sleep I got, but I definitely did better than I had the last 2 nights before that. Oops. I did take a pain pill like at 1 in the morning, but then I slept till 6. Okay, now we add some texture. Okay. It's my scissors. piece of plastic. In my will, never. Hello, darling. How is my grandson? Greetings. I'm going to show off the day's work in just a minute. Oh, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is today? Oh, wow, big party. So, was that the gift to the mothers? One group event? All right. Except that you misspelled the word amount, so you sure it was perfect? What did you drink? I'm curious. I actually love alcohol. It no longer agrees with my body at all, so I can't drink it, but occasionally I will take a teeny bit of Bailey's Irish Cream just to taste it, or a cognac or something. Helps. It is a beautiful day here too. I think it's a bit on the brisk side, and a bit overcast, which I love. 54 degrees, cloudy, although I can feel the sun coming through the curtains. So, tree pollen is high. Air is very dry, and the barometric pressure is currently falling. And that is the weather report from Southern Connecticut. Come back here, chat. I love a good cognac. I mean, a good cognac, the expensive kind. But like I said, I can't drink anymore. So, it doesn't matter what I like. My vodka is now for making vanilla extract. Maybe it's because you were in a good mood and you were able to relax enough to enjoy it and absorb it. a beautiful day. I was admiring the puffy white clouds and the blue sky today myself, going, this is like picture perfect. It's so perfect, it's a waste of time taking a picture of it. In an okay mood? You sound like you should be in a good mood. You had a meal with the family. Did that not go well? Oh yeah, I need the magic net. The magic net, the magic net. Where did I put it now? Ah, there it is. Hiding over here. And then I'm going to show off what I made, because it came out beautiful. They both did. Although the second one I have to starch to make sure it keeps the cool shape I made it. Oh, I need much more water. Hey, don't go anywhere. Just get saturated. Well, I've been studying the thing I want to study. I guess you don't really want to study it. When you really want to, you do it. We know that from your past experience. So I'm guessing you're guilting yourself over nothing. Maybe you have too much and you have too many decisions to make or feel like you do, and it's hard to settle on one thing. That's really the secret of any kind of success, is being able to focus on something. And you have a lot of distractions right now. So focus, I would imagine, would be a little bit more challenging. I want as in I know I should. Maybe you need to look at the shoulds that you have obligated yourself to. I know I should. I should do this and I should do that, but honestly my heart's not in it. It doesn't inspire me, so I don't have any energy for it. That's like I should do the laundry, but I don't do it until I need something and go, okay, you're out of socks. Now, sometimes I'm in front of it, but sometimes I'm not. I don't do anything but go, okay, today is laundry day. There we go. Ooh, that's nice and gooey. Nope. Because when you have true passion, you do it. Passion is what you have, like, for your piano. When you are in the mood for the piano, you have plenty of passion for it. And I know this because I'm an artist and I've lived by my passion. I really want to feel passionate, or I feel passionate. That's what inspires me to do things. That's why I ordered wool at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, again, you go to school for something specific and you obligate yourself to a curriculum that has to be passed. If you're not feeling it, gonna be a drag later. Don't you think? Have to keep remotivating yourself to do the same thing. Or maybe I just can't relate. When I get passionate about something, I devote my time to it, and I do it until I no longer feel a passion for it. Now, I have the privilege of that because of my age and position right now, which is retired, unemployed, not seeking employment. So it's a different world for me. But on the other hand, I have indulged my passions my entire life. I took crappy jobs for the purpose of sustaining my life so that I could do the things I loved. And so when I look back, I don't have the money to show for a successful life, but I feel like I have been a success. And I don't look back on regrets at all about career choices. Hello, Gary. Well, I study every day. There's something I'm learning every day. Sometimes it's pertinent to things I'm doing, and sometimes it's just because I love learning new things. So every day I learn something new in science. You'd think I would be learning something new in the arts, but if I'm doing arts, I don't look things up other than like more about what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this aside for a few minutes because I want to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I was challenged by myself to find a different model for my hurricane lantern. They call them hurricane lamps, but for me it's just a mason jar with a candle in it. It doesn't look all that impressive, you know, really, but it is super soft, super lightweight, and it looks super cool in the dark. Also, just sitting on my windowsill, the sun hits it and it lights it up as if there's a candle in it, which inspired me to do something bigger, but I didn't want it to have that squared off look from being molded over a mason jar. So I used this big vase I have, and that sucked completely, and I had to redo it completely. I found a different vase and molded it over that, and I totally love this. So it is big, and it's going to need to be starched to hold its shape better, but it is pure wool and silk and bamboo. No metal, no plastic, no synthetic materials, just soap, water, and natural fibers. So I just love this thing. So I had to do some more, which I'll go get, because I just did this today, and I made the basic pocket yesterday, or should I say the basic bowl yesterday, and this morning did this to it. Now, it will be displayed like that with a candle in it, and it's not quite dry enough to hold it independently to show you this way, but a lot of texture. And that's just gonna glow. What I'm saying, Charlie, is we make our lives. We create our lives. You have to decide what it is that makes you happy in the moment. because what makes you happy is going to change as time goes on. Some things will be forever, like just basic you who you are. But other things are going to change, and your passions are going to change. We don't say, except like the arts. When the arts call us, it really calls us. Although, students of the law who are completely absorbed by that, then they have that passion for studying all that stuff and digging up old cases and looking at new cases and et cetera, which is like, to me, I can see where they were coming from, but at the same time, I have no desire to get involved with that kind of a thing. But for some people, that's life, that's their blood. So you have to know, you have to learn as you go. What's your lifeblood at the moment, I went years with my passion being baking bread. I baked every day, so I got into it. And then, for various reasons, I guess, I just kind of got bored with it. Stopped making bread every day after the divorce, but until then, pretty much bread every day. So, there are things that we do for years and then let go. I don't feel a loss. I can make bread anytime I want. But it's just, your passions are going to change over time because you're changing, you're growing. And the more stuff you're exposed to, the more ideas you're going to have because you're a smart guy. And smart people are going to be often overwhelmed with new ideas because they're smart. You're going to want to do new things. You're going to want to try different things. And that is a reflection of your intelligence, my dear. So that's where they say, it's a blessing and a curse. Because it keeps you always questioning the world and always wanting to know more. And that's where you'd want to stop guilting yourself about anything you decided to stop studying or have lost interest for the moment. If it was that important, you'll pick it back up. It's just the way we do it. Again, I'm not under pressure like you are. You're a completely different realm right now. You've got family you have to deal with. You have to make decisions about school. I do not have any of that on my plate. So I can only tell you from my perspective. I thought I was going to go to college and ended up on the street. And at the time, it was a curse. It's not where I wanted to be or what I wanted to be doing or how I ever pictured myself. Looking, for extra hours working at a bakery that normally I just worked at after school. So it was an unexpected change in the middle of winter. It turned out to be a blessing, but for the first few years it sucked. I love you, Charlie. No, you have to give him the same freedom he afforded you. That's the whole idea of friendship. You just be concerned about you, and you be busy with you, and then eventually you'll hear from him, and the friendship will keep going. I have nothing going on, just enjoying the third day. It's the third already? I'm sorry to hear that. I thought it was a second day off. Oh well. It's a good day off. That's all that matters. No, I mean, officially, I have nothing going on. Like, I'm not in charge of anything anymore. Although they kind of have me in charge of Tai Chi. Everything I do is voluntarily. I cook voluntarily or donate voluntarily. And right now everything is community centered. So it's about the people here in my building, which is convenient since I don't have a car. Which reminds me, how's your driving lessons? You have a nice friendship growing, and real friendships take a while to establish, so you just enjoy it as it goes, you know? I don't want that to be too thick down here, but it's got to stick. This is gonna be so pretty. Now, I bought this 3-pack of little battery-powered, little LED tea lights. This is the second time I've done that, and only 1 out of 3 worked. So tomorrow I'm trying a different store. Can't lie, I'm very lonely. And I hate that for you. That's where going to university is a good thing. At least you get to meet some people. They have clubs you can join. A little bit more activity than sitting at home with the family. In any case, your greatest opportunities are going to not come from being way out there in nowhere man's land. It's kind of like you have to bide your time to get to where you need to go. But everything is a stepping stone. Everything is going to add to where you end up. With every once in a while I get to interact with, is that 70-year-olds old or 7-year-olds? 70-plus-year-olds. Well, that's here. Yeah, you're interacting with me once in a while. So I get it. Actually, I used to have the same thing. I couldn't really relate to people my age. I did some of the same stuff that my peers did, but most of the time I didn't really feel in step with them. I don't know. I guess I was an old lady early. I like being around old people. And now I'm around old people. And I find young people more interesting. Not always. But, a lot of old people have just stopped growing. And the conversations lean more towards about the end of life things. Yes, that's exactly. Oh, thank you. That is my problem right now. I've been offered this opportunity to participate in the state government for real. But on one hand, it's to help shape what's happening, services, to where do you want the money directed, basically. But on the other hand, I'm hoping that attracts intelligent people. I didn't really have much of that either growing up. That's too bad. You see, that's what I rail against. There's no excuse to lose your spark. The spark does not go away. We abandon our sparks. We settle into those, I'm supposed to do this. I should do that. And I'm glad that I have added my 2 cents to the community here in shaking some of that up. with getting them to try some different things. Not everybody, but a few people. It's like, all right, I'm seeing a little bit more bravery here. On the other hand, there's people that you're just never going to be able to reach because they're pretty screwed up. And you have to be able to discern that real fast so that you do not waste your energy and get caught up with the wrong people. I'm really not sure, probably because I'm registered in a political discussion group. It's a government thing. I mean, there's an actual government website, and the offer came in the usual, very sealed and heavy duty, like, you ain't getting this open unless it's for you kind of packaging. It was even more secure than my Social Security statement. And it's got a list of the people involved. It's like, oh, this is interesting. I hadn't even realized this existed. So, you know, I've tried to not be involved with that kind of thing, but it is exactly the kind of thing I need to be involved with. And it doesn't matter what the age is, because, like I said, I don't have to go into an office or anything. It's all going to be recorded as, this is what I believe we should be doing, kind of a thing. And I've got a lot of opinions about that, because I don't want to see gentrification, and I don't want to see everything being remade just for the rich. They're trying to rebuild our town, and we've got a marina that they're developing. The problem is that our end of the river, literally the river ends right there at the marina, or 100 feet up from it. It's not very much. A little up, and you can't bring any kind of boat, not even a kayak. It's just narrow. But they have yachts going down there. They're courting yachts, and it's like, this is an area that needs housing for the poor, you know, for the seniors, for the other people who are on the edges of society and usually ignored. And when they gentrify an area and redo it, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, put a Starbucks in here. It's like, no. So I've been one of the people that's like, it should be local people, not chains. And one of the projects that's come up, and I'm really excited to see it happen, is a community kitchen. And the community kitchen would be basically like a rental space, but not much money. I want to go and look, and thank you, Gary, I need those thumbs up. I have to go and look at the website and details before I get involved with anything, because I have to know, is this something that's going to take up a lot of my time? Do I have to go to the capital of the state, which is something that would be very difficult for me to do? There's no bus that goes up to Hartford from here. So yeah, it's not paid, of course, but I have a feeling they're having a problem getting enough people, because they're offering a raffle kind of a thing. If you just please participate, the first 100 people, you know, blah blah blah. Forget it's not all about the raffle. It's about what you're going to be talking about, and yeah, it's definitely up my alley for that. So I will be looking into it. This being Sunday, I'm not worried about doing anything official in a rush, because there's nobody around anyway. Uh-oh. I have a feeling we're going to be out of this color. Yeah, this is why I'm doing these little things, because I'm afraid I won't have enough to finish a bigger project until my wool arrives. And that's why I got practically euphoric ordering my yarn, my wool rather, not yarn. This is what you turn into yarn. Well, let me see if I can find more orange. Well, Harvard is a city. It's no more or less dangerous than any other city. Every city has its challenges just because the population is so dense. You're going to have more of everything, including crime. But I do not let that intimidate me. I went to Boston on my own. I've been to New York City on my own. Shit, I walked all over New York City with my luggage was actually my shopping cart. And no, I didn't look like some poor person, but not only did nobody bother me, I got help whenever I needed it. So I think again that we create our futures and we attract what we are thinking about and feeling about the most. And I don't walk around thinking about fearful things. Actually, I kind of think of myself as being immune to all that crap. But that is just my general attitude from having lived in New York. In fact, when you walk around the city, you have to be mindful not to look like a victim. There are definitely stances that make you look like, rob me, I'm a sucker. And it's like people glow that kind of a vibe. Nope. Okay, we're going to have to just make up the difference in yellow. I do believe I ordered a gorgeous citrus orange. Because I ordered this color setup, 2 ounces of each shade. You don't live in a city, you live out in the boondocks, and your biggest store is Walmart. You are on the edge of rural. But I'm glad you feel secure. Because you need to feel secure. Like, as much as I felt secure in New York walking around, I also knew better than to like walk by myself in the middle of the night. Like, come on. I'm not a dummy. I am a little bit street smart, even though I've been away from the city for years. I haven't forgotten everything. Oh. Okay, now we got to put weird stuff on it. Sari silk. Sari, S-A-R-I. And what they call wool neps, N-A-P-S or N-A-P-P-S, I'm not sure. These are little bits of wool that are accidentally created. Maybe they do it on purpose now that people are collecting them in different colors, but I think it's something that just like a byproduct of carding your wool. You eventually end up with some little bits that get tangled up. This is the bamboo. it's just gorgeous when it gets wet down there. So I call this the Bird of Paradise palette. I'm not trying to imitate the bird. It's not a bird. Bird of Paradise, for those who don't know, it's a plant. It's a beautiful plant, and in the tropical environment grows to huge sizes. Like one leaf could be a dress for me. In fact, when I moved to California and had one right outside my apartment door, and it took up all the space out the side of the door, I took a picture of me holding a leaf like a dress. And it was very funny for me after growing up in the East where everything dies in winter. You have 500 people and a Dollar General. That's 15 miles away. That sucks. That's how it was for me in North Carolina. I was 7 miles from the nearest road, main road, to get into town. And but Rutherfordton, North Carolina, had officially 4,000 people as listed as residents. You never saw that many, but it was 4,000 people, but spread over so many acres. It was hard to believe that there were that many people around. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. But unfortunately, when it dried out, it did not lend itself to any manipulation. It just got crisp. Yes, I tried everything, just like because I was really into paper making, or paper, period. And my husband at the time was also really into paper. And he was a printing manager in a print shop. Okay, let's get this back. I love, who's that designer? Iris Van something. She uses all natural themes to design her stuff. And her stuff gets more and more science fiction-like. But amazing eye and imagination that woman has. Halpern, Van Halpern, that's it. Now, I haven't seen anything of hers lately that I would say I could wear at my age. But I did see an interpretation of one of her gowns that was used in, or on, I believe, the Wednesday Addams Netflix TV show by Principal Weems, who modeled one of Iris's dresses. She's like 5'9", that woman, or maybe taller, huge woman. Downy smells. See, I don't like the smells of any of those. I do use now and then a Bounce Outdoor Fresh sheet, and I can tolerate that okay. Most of them just smell too perfumey to me anymore. Actually, for a long time. When I walk down the aisle in the grocery store with all that soaps, ugh, that's when I want my mask on. Okay, let us soap it up gently, gently. I had no way of knowing that I was going to end up doing this felting ever in my life, because it didn't even exist till the 90s, so I guess I wasn't exposed to any of it. Fresh sheets today. That will be my next wash, is actually my towels and sheets. I told you I got these gorgeous purple sheets, bamboo sheets, cooling sheets they call them. You know how shiny the bamboo is? Well, my sheets have a similar sheen to them. They're gorgeous. Lovely shade of purple. And it's the first time I've ever gotten, well, dark colored sheets. And gold silk pillowcases. And also I have some that are light blue silk. As long as it's silk, I'm good. I don't mind mixing and matching the colors. Okay, let us turn this one over now. Carefully, carefully. We have a lot of soap here. Do we ever? The purple looks a lot whiter right now with all the soap in it. That's funny. Come on, flip over. You must form a seal. Or my sides will split when I go to model this over a jar. You got the gray ones? They're pretty, aren't they? Every wall in this apartment is a yellow shade of white. You know what I mean? I can't really call it eggshell. It's more a crew. So that's kind of dismal in terms of matching too many colors that are on the cool end. So I went with, well, the purple, frankly, it was on sale, a really good price, and I needed something. I got some yellow bamboo sheets when I first moved in here and got a bed. And I still like them, but they never had that really nice sheen. And I ended up with two sets because in the first set I got, the pillowcases were from a different dye lot. So 3 were one color and 1 was the wrong color. Technically yellow, but not really. I'm gonna tell this cat no. Yeah, your cat knows English, and he is letting you know his displeasure. That's funny. It's gonna be. I've got something in my eye. It's surprised that doesn't happen more often. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to actually go and get eye drops. So this is what I'm going to do, just in case you're interested. I'm going to go. I'm going to do things like you need to do when you need to take a break after a cup of coffee. I am going to make myself lunch. And then I'm going to come back here. Because it's Sunday and the day has just begun. In terms of fun. So we're just going to roll this up for now. And I charged my cylindrical felt vibrator. And it finished felting that pocket I just molded. It works. So I charged it up. And while I'm cooking something for lunch, I will let this vibrate here on the table. I have to make sure people understand that it is a felter, an automatic felter. Okay. I think that's going to come out pretty. So yeah, I need to go wash out the eye. I was going to say, wash out the elbow. Charlie, are you going to come back? Yeah, I'll be gone at least an hour and a half. You got time for now. I'm a slow cooker. But the kitchen is clean. No, actually, I've got to wipe out the pan. I had breakfast today. Well, then I'm not going to sing you to sleep. It's too early. I hope that I will see you later. So my clock says 1:30 or so. I'll be back around 3 o'clock. I'm aiming for 3 o'clock. Okay, let's put it that way. So bring your refreshment, whatever that might be.